I'm very sure when you saw the title, you will be wondering, Tinubu can't send Seyi go Benin Republic as at how now? Waiting happen. Now still on top Nigeria matter with you. Wole Soyika, I talk this one. He said, instead of Tinubu to stress himself sending Nigeria Air Force to Benin Republic, it would have been easier for him to call Seyi and say, go and neutralize the issue in Benin Republic. Why he talked this one? Why did he say this? Just watch this video, then we'll come back to it.
Tinubu didn't have to send the Air Force and the military to deal with this particular insurrection, this threat to our sense of security and equilibrium. No, there are easier ways of doing it. Let me tell you where Tinubu should have looked for forces to quell that insurrection. Right here in Lagos. Right here. Or in Abuja, perhaps. I don't know. But there was no need to call the military or the Air Force. I'll tell you what happened. On one of my home visits, just about 2 months ago, I was coming out of a hotel and I saw what looked like a film set. And I said, oh, they're shooting a film. That was on the grounds of this hotel. And a young man detached himself from the actors, came over and greeted me, very polite, very nice young man. And I said, are you shooting somebody? And I said, I'm just joking. Are you shooting a film? He said, no. And I looked around. There was nearly a whole battalion occupying the grounds of that hotel, in Ikoyi, right here. So I got back in my car and I asked the driver who that young man was. And he told me. And I saw this SWAT team, the mixture. They were at least heavily armed, at least some 15 or so heavily armed to the teeth security personnel. Looked sufficient to take over a small country, neighboring city like Benin. And I think the next time, the president should just call and say, Seyi, go and quell the rebellion over there.
So what has happened that he has suddenly gained his voice recently? What has happened that what has happened that he has suddenly gained his voice recently? Abi, his subscription has finished, because I can remember he was really not speaking up, even when people were crying. People were crying up and down. He wasn't speaking up. So why is he speaking up recently? Subscription has finished. Please, Baba, tell us who. So Wole Soyika was speaking at an event. So he said he just saw Seyi and carrying a lot of armed security people around him. He come to a conclusion that they were shooting film. Before he was told that this is the son of the president, you say, why should the son of the president carry so much security like that? But then this now comes down to what we've been talking about. In a country that is well secure, a country that has peace, that is relatively safe, and which it is the same people in government that can guarantee this, you don't need some massive security forces around you to protect you. When the country is safe, the citizens are safe, you yourself, you are safe. So when we say make this country safe for everyone, it's not just for the masses. Even you yourself, you as a politician or as a leader, you also feel this safety. You also be safe. You have the liberty to walk around without carrying some plenty forces around with yourself. But in a case where just one VIP carry a lot of security forces that can protect a lot of other masses out there, you can see that it is also sending a negative signal. Look at the forces, the security men our politicians carry all around. It is not something we should be proud about. Anyway, from the statement Wole Soyika made, it's more of like a funny statement, but it carries a weight. There is a weight behind that statement. If and only if our politician can hit to those words, I think we'll be in a step towards attaining a very good progress, towards sustaining security in Nigeria.